Welcome, everyone, to San Antonio by Night Aftermath, Part 2 of the Season 2 Epilogues. Tonight, we're going to be focusing primarily on Ray, as she, on the night that they've all gotten rid of Veronica, that's the diablerie of the Zamisi sire of Maria completed, and the body turned to ash, and Samantha stands from that position a new kindred. But that's not what Ray's focusing on. No, Ray is focusing her efforts towards finding Harrison, the human Second Inquisition agent of sorts that they had been focusing on, that Veronica had found for them, but where she stashed him, who's to say? And so, Benji has volunteered to assist Ray in scouring the nearby area to see if they could possibly find him. Although he'd be the first to admit to you, Ray, he's not exactly the most proficient investigator.
A pair of eyes. Another pair of eyes. I know he's got to be stashed around here somewhere. After all, she couldn't afford to let us wait and change our minds.
Which a lot of you did anyway.
That's exactly right. I'm gonna, to begin with, check in some of the darker areas. Benji, if you find him, give me a shout, yeah?
Yeah. Do you know what he looks like?
Nah. I don't believe I do I?
I don't think any of you have seen him.
None of us have gotten a good look at him.
That's inconvenient.
Yeah, just a bit. So Ray is gonna start wandering around and see if she can't find him stashed in the dark nearby, or if there is a nearby building that might be a bit more empty. Places that would be good for hiding people.
Given that this location is kind of in the midst of Ava's domain, there are some emptier buildings, there are some alleyways, there are some darker places. Benji kind of keeps an eye out. He seems very focused at the moment. So what are you going to do when you find this guy?
Got a few questions to ask you.
Think he's going to answer?
Probably not.
generally how that goes, I think.
It's a matter of reading between the lines.
Right.
It's the answers that he doesn't give that I'm the most interested in.
I guess.
Be amazed what you can get from what people don't actually say.
You know, you're not the first person to tell me that.
You reckon? Who else?
Urian.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I apparently met him the other night.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Or some dude claiming to be him.
You suspect that he's not telling the truth?
Fuck, I don't know. I've never seen the guy before.
Nah.
I mean, it's not like nobody knows about the great Urian Doyle. Wouldn't be too hard to impersonate.
Well, hot damn. The majority of us haven't seen him for the better part of a year, and he visits you guys? What the fuck did you do?
Apparently, we shook enough trees.
I don't know. Doesn't necessarily seem like the type that would come out just because you shook a tree.
You never know. Shake a tree, poke a bear. Eventually, they're going to show the claws.
I guess.
Do you remember what Urian Doyle looked like?
Yeah. Tall. Black guy. Kind of got a big kind of poof of hair, a beard, glasses.
Yeah, that fits. Showed up with a little friend. What was his name? Josh?
Josh. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah, the newbie.
Yeah. Showed up to give Noel a run for his money in chess.
What, Urian?
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Go figure.
I was a big picture kind of guy, so.
Yeah. Yeah, he reckons defense is the best way to go.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea. Depends on the situation.
Mm.
It was interesting meeting him, though. Wouldn't mind learning a thing or two from him.
I think you've said that a couple of times. What are you intending to learn?
Whatever I can.
That's vague.
Mate, I've been making my way through Kindred Society without a sire to guide me.
Oof. I know that life.
So I'm just learning what I can, where I can.
I definitely know that life.
Yeah? Yeah, do you figure?
Well, my sire's Carnage, and he wasn't exactly the greatest sire in the world.
Oh, I could see that. Although, it was pretty forthcoming when I asked the right questions. Seemed like he was a smart guy.
I wouldn't know.
What did happen between you and him?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, as far as I can tell, there was no love lost there. Was he just not there, or
Wait, what?
was he just not there, or
Like when I was first embraced? Is that what we're talking about?
at all?
Well, it's not that. He's Sabat.
Yeah.
And Sabat do Sabat things.
Sabat do Sabat things.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking.
You're cutting out really bad. I'm not hearing you.
I said I'm still a little bit iffy on what Sabat things actually are. Like, I know they're supposed to be nasty pieces of work and all.
Yeah. Like, the worst. Like, I'm pretty sure that, you and I both have gotten up to, random acts of not niceness. Sabat are worse. They embrace that beast in you. They give up on the fact that we used to be human. And, really kind of dive headlong into the, the bullshit. The impulses. Let them happen when they happen. And just run with it.
It's interesting.
Why?
I remember something that Carnage said about the voice in his head, and how you shouldn't really listen to it because it's the voice of our ancestors or some shit telling us what to do. And he didn't like that.
Yeah, he's batshit crazy.
Oh, yeah. That much is obvious. I don't know. I didn't know him enough. I reckon he didn't seem too bad to me, but I only spoke to him a few times.
Yeah, well, I don't know nearly enough as I should, because shortly after I was embraced, I was picked up by Isabella.
Isabella.
Yeah, Isabella.
Who is...
The owner of La Medianoche.
Yeah, right. I don't think I've ever met her.
Haven't you?
Don't think so.
Alright. Yeah. You guys are like Marjani's kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Isabella doesn't really like Marjani.
I get the feeling that there's a lot of people that share similar sentiments.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So what, we just standing here flapping our gums, or?
As you've been talking, you've been inside one of these warehouses. You're not sure. It's not big enough to be a large warehouse, but it's empty enough to be a storage place of some kind. And as you've been kind of walking and talking, he's been keeping an eye out for this and that, and attempting, but not really succeeding, at listening for signs because he's flapping his gums.
Can I maybe roll to see if there's any kind of hint around as to where he might be?
You get the distinct impression that this is one of the places that wasn't far from where Veronica had indicated she would be leaving such a thing. Not that she really gave you much information to go on, but you figured she wouldn't leave him far. And
Oh, thank you, Discord.
welcome back.
Thank you. So what were you saying?
Sorry.
I was saying that that Veronica wouldn't have left him far if she intended to get out of there should you guys make bad on your deal. And so you figure this would be the place to keep him for the time being. But you don't necessarily hear much. Maybe he's knocked out.
Cannot smell anything? Or see?
You smell the slight scent of blood on the wind.
I will try and follow that.
Benji follows you. And when you come to a closet, it's locked. But that's nothing that you and Benji can't just force open if you wanted to, and you see a man, older, bound, looks like he's unconscious.
Ray is gonna
I'll be damned.
Ray's gonna go delving through his pockets around his belt, making sure he's got good weapons, checking down the socks.
I'm losing you.
Sorry. She's gonna check everywhere on him for weapons, anything he could possibly use.
You don't see any weapons on him. You get the distinct impression that Veronica might have removed those herself.
And does he have any identifying stuff on him? A wallet?
That has been left. It has an ID inside. Harrison Winters.
Winters. Well, Mr. Winters, nice to finally get your last name.
He starts to stir like he's coming to. What the fuck?
Welcome back.
I'd say welcome back to the land of living, but, well.
Alright.
Nice to meet you, Harrison.
Right. And your name?
Wilson.
Wilson.
Do you know me at all, Mr. Winters?
I don't know you personally, no.
Not personally, but you do know me.
I've seen you before.
Really? Where have you seen me?
Really?
Yeah, where have you seen me?
Around?
Nowhere in particular.
Here and there. Bars. Clubs. Neighborhoods.
Mr. Winters, I'm going to take you with us.
Right.
I've got some questions for you.
Questions, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me more.
Well, I'm at your mercy, I guess.
Yeah. You're very slippery, you know that?
Intentionally.
Not slippery enough, though.
Well, I suppose you can't make up for or know everything there is to know about blank bodies, huh?
There's that time. Mr. Winters. Ray leans down and kind of throws him over her shoulder like a sack of potatoes. He's not a gentleman. Rough.
Hmm. And he's kind of hefty. He's not exactly a lightweight. He's very athletically built for a man who's older and graying. But
You need to lose
Wait there, mister.
lose weight, huh?
Yeah, well, I'm sure you'll certainly lose weight during questioning.
Oh, joy.
So, blank body, eh?
I'm sure you don't want that term slung around in the open just as much as I don't.
So, what brought you into this life then?
Does it really matter?
It does, actually.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Really. What are you going to do with that information when you get it?
Depends on the information. Everything's circumstantial. I'm sure you know that.
Circumstantial. Like the fact that you killed more.
Oh, no, I didn't kill him.
You lot, I guess. Blank bodies. However many there are of you.
Well, there's no confirmation of that. For all I know, he could still be out there.
Yeah, well, I'd know about it if he was, so
You reckon?
I reckon.
I reckon there's a hell of a lot of stuff that you don't know, Mr. Winters.
And I reckon that you're going to ask me questions about the things that you don't know, so
Yeah.
I'm guessing that I'm not getting out of this alive either way, so, what's the point?
That's not for me to decide.
Right. As if you aren't, what did we hear you say, anarchists?
I mean, yeah, there's that. But there is a hierarchy in place.
You can't be anarchists and have a hierarchy. That's not how
Everything,
anarchy works.
everything has a hierarchy. Everything. Whether we like it or not. That's part of nature.
You're not natural.
You reckon? What are we, man-made?
I don't know. I don't know the exact origin of blank bodies.
Then
But
how do you know we're not natural? How do you know that we're not a natural part of this world?
because if you were, people would know about it.
Unless the natural reaction is to remove things that you don't understand.
That's human nature, isn't it?
It is. Very natural part of human nature. Lots of things have died off because you kill things you can't understand.
I don't think you have a genuine interest in understanding me, so why don't you just get it over with?
I mean, I could, but that really doesn't benefit me.
Sure it doesn't.
Doesn't benefit anyone. Least
Sure.
of all you.
I mean, I'm not getting out of this alive. There's no way that your kind lets that happen.
You know that monster that caught you?
Yeah.
Well, they're no longer kicking around the block.
What do you fucking do?
And there are things that our kind can do beyond your wildest imagination. So how do you know you're not getting out of this alive?
Because that's not how blank bodies operate.
And what do you know about how we operate?
I know plenty.
Like what?
You're predators. Sharks.
Well, I mean, I am. I don't know about everybody else. As she says this, she kind of gnashes together those pointed teeth of hers.
Monsters. All of you.
Not all of us.
All of you.
Some of us try to stay as human as cool.
Most of you are murderers.
Most? Actually, there's a good portion of us that aren't. But not like that matters to you.
You're right. I don't care.
After all these bodies, nothing inside of it.
I'm losing you again.
Nothing inside of us at all.
So Benji kind of pipes up. So why are we not just gonna kill this guy?
I'm certain that at least my higher ups would be interested in hearing from him. And I'm not sure there aren't more of them.
Wasn't it you that said that this was the last guy on the list?
Yeah, last one we knew about. But have a think about how long he's been wandering about. The knowledge that he's got. The terminology he's using.
Most everything that I know I learned from Moore.
Only from
Yeah,
no other contacts.
there's nobody else.
Can I insight that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Insight. Wits?
Yep, wits and insight.
And I have detect lies as well.
Hmm. As far as you know, he's telling you the truth.
Hmm. She kind of readjusts him on her shoulder. You ex-military, Mr. Winters?
Yeah, retired.
How long you been retired?
10 years.
Oh, thank you very much for your service, sir.
Yeah, you're not thankful.
You'd be surprised.
Besides, you're foreign. What do you care?
I'm Australian. Don't you know we're allies?
Right.
So you told no one else.
There is no one else.
Nobody else.
I have a question for you, Mr. Winters. Why didn't you tell anyone else?
Well, simple fact of the matter is I've got no backup here.
Yeah.
And I hadn't gotten around to building backup yet. You know, with blank bodies chasing you, you gotta wait them out. And I guess I didn't wait long enough.
I'll give you a piece of information, Mr. Winters. You can't wait out our kind. Especially not at your age.
Yeah, well.
So you didn't get a chance to build up back up here.
Isn't that what you wanted?
Specifically here. What about elsewhere?
You think I have more contacts? You think I have all of the information? You think I know anything about what Moore was up to back in Detroit? No. He's as secretive as an FBI agent ever is.
Interesting.
They don't say shit.
I guess that's why there was...
Especially not to a grunt like me.
Yeah. How much did he tell you?
Just enough.
There was a young lady in your group.
Yeah, Atsuko.
Yeah. And the other one is. Did Atsuko know about as much as you did, or do you know more?
She was NSA. I don't know. She was a tech guru that we hired on from the NSA here in San Antonio.
The NSA. Okay.
Sure.
Mr. Winters, where Atsuko is concerned,
He's passed on.
Sorry, what?
she passed on. Wasn't by my hands or those of my group. More did it.
Doesn't surprise me.
Chewed her apart, limb from limb.
Chewed
I
apart.
figure
You might want to know what happened to her.
I liked Atsuko.
yeah, she seemed like a sweet girl.
She was good at her job.
It's a shame. Now, I'm going to take you to some people who are far better at asking questions than I am.
Fantastic.
And they're going to squeeze you for everything.
I get the distinct feeling that there's a but to that statement.
Do you have anything that you have left unfinished?
Guess it doesn't matter now.
Consider it me trying to grant you a final wish, Mr. Winters.
I don't want any final wishes from you.
Very well. She kind of jostles him again on her shoulder, and she carries him out.
Mm.
She's going to load him into the back of her vehicle.
Mm.
Make sure that he's restrained. Seatbelt him in.
Mm.
And she's going to take him to Jameson.
Are you simply dropping him off?
Yeah. Leaving a word in Jameson's ear that Mr. Winters was cooperative.
And here's hoping, maybe a little bit on your part, maybe a little bit on Benji's part. You don't really know. That maybe Jameson will be merciful and give him a quick death. But that seems highly unlikely.
It is what it is. It's not my kill.
Myself.
Before leaving, I
Ask Jameson.
Before leaving, what?
Before leaving, she's going to ask Jameson if there's anything.
He simply dismisses you. taking Harrison with him. Somewhere else
Yeah.
besides the bar.
Right.
Yeah.
Might be my suspicious nature.
Hmm.
But,
I don't think that's the end of it. I hope it is, but I don't think it is. What do you reckon, Benji?
Well, there... the, if he did, indeed, have any kind of backup, probably would be with the FBI, which is already in Vilda's domain anyway. So, we're gonna keep an eye on that.
Yeah. And Atsuko was recruited from the NSA.
I have to go searching for where that is in the Google Maps, but I think that's in our domain too.
Something to keep an eye on.
Don't you worry your pretty little head. We got this.
Yeah. Keep me in the loop, would you? This has been one hell of a fucking mess.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it has.
What?
Just thinking.
About what?
Maria.
What about her?
In that fight with Veronica. In that fight with Maria.
Oh.
I don't know if she really would have walked.
Really would have walked. What do you mean?
She was going to go with Veronica willingly. And that's why that broke out the way that it did.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Because she felt like she had to. But I'm not even sure if that's what it was.
Well, that sounds like questions that you need to ask her. I mean, I don't know what that kid thinks.
I don't think anybody knows what that kid thinks. Fuck, I think we barely know what we think. If we
That's
think.
valid.
With Benji. Thank you for doing that, by the way.
I mean, that's what I do.
Kick asses, take names.
Usually in the other direction, but yeah.
The other direction.
Yeah, I take names and then I kick ass.
Fair.
Gotta have a name before I can kick somebody's ass. Right?
Sometimes. Sometimes kicking ass is how you get the name in the first place.
I mean, that's... I mean, taking names is... I don't know, kind of more like a... have a target kind of a thing. I don't need to know their actual name to kick their ass, but, you know... know that I'm gonna be kicking somebody who matches this description, kind of a thing.
That's fair. I might pop around the Medianoche.
Yeah?
In
Yeah, you're gonna want to call ahead beforehand.
I generally try to.
Well, yeah. But, it's not exactly 100% mine, so I would have to see if Isabella would be okay with visitors.
More than fair.
I mean, she's kind of my vampire parent.
Your vampire parent.
Yeah.
The fuck even is that?
Well, when you don't have a sire, yeah, I guess a mentor, whatever. I mean, yeah.
Like I said, mate, I'm my own. So, first I've heard a vampire parent.
Yeah, I don't know what you would exactly call it, but like a mentor kind of thing.
That's a thing that exists.
I mean, why wouldn't it? Somebody cares about you enough, cares about your future enough, that they kind of want to see you succeed and help you where they can and all of that bullshit.
Kind of like how Sammy is to Maria, then.
Yeah, like a parent kind of thing.
Huh.
I
Huh.
don't know. I've always thought of Isabella as family, so.
Interesting. But, no, I was hoping I could pop around and you could teach me a few things. Like how you managed to kick the rock.
So far as I know, that's a particularly Bruja kind of thing.
What do you mean?
Well, Bruja are punchy by nature. And,
Yeah.
And I kind of fit the bill already before that, so it only just developed more as I've continued in this existence, so my natural tendencies from before when I was alive.
And you don't think I'm punchy by nature?
I don't know. I haven't punched you. So I'm losing you again.
More, I haven't punched you.
Well, given that these things tend to stir up, ragey emotions, I tend to avoid that lately.
Lately?
Lately.
Why?
I don't want to rage out at every fucking person that I meet.
And you used to?
Yeah.
Every person.
Well, not everyone. Everyone who made me mad. And it's easier to make me mad.
It's easier to make you mad.
Well, since I've become kindred, yes.
Fair.
I mean,
Fair.
isn't it the same with you?
I don't know. Not really. I don't really get mad. I just get even. I mean, I get mad, but I don't really get mad.
I guess.
Not mad enough to snap anyway.
Well. punching things.
Please.
Well, punching things tends to make people mad, and then them getting mad at me tends to make me mad. So I tend to avoid doing that to Kindred lately. Not unless I really intend on being like, no, this person is definitely gonna get pummeled into the concrete.
Well,
Like
I want to
Rock.
learn how. I mean, I can kind of pummel somebody into the concrete, but not as double as you.
Well, I can teach you MMA.
I'm down.
What you paying me in return?
Fuck. It's always about paying.
Well, if I'm
Put it
giving you
down to
lessons,
favors. I guess.
favors, okay.
Yeah. I don't really have anything else at this point.
Well,
Still finding my way.
well, when you have something and you can kind of pay it forward, I'll give you a lesson or two in mixed martial arts.
Sounds like fun.
I'm mostly a
I'll hold you.
kickboxer anyway.
Kickboxing.
Yeah.
Isn't that something those soccer mums do?
Soccer moms.
Yeah. Kickboxing to like, I don't know, fucking stay fit or some shit.
I don't fucking know. I actually fought in the ring, so...
Oh, so you're like one of the professional ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that should be interesting.
Well. Maybe, after the holiday, we can get together and do something like that.
Alright.
It gives you time to figure out what it is that you can pay me.
Sounds like a plan.
Well, I need to get back. I've got other things. Sorry, what?
Waiting off.
I'm going back to La Medianoche for now.
Alright. And that's where Ray would drop him off. Because she was driving her vehicle.
Alright. And in that case, unless there's more, that is the conclusion of Ray's epilogue. Thank you
Yay.
all so much for joining. This is a shorter session for San Antonio by Night tonight, because we do only have Ray to do a vignette with tonight. The vignette for Noel should be coming up on YouTube fairly shortly, as soon as I can get Lethality to sit down and actually have his vignette. But in the meantime, I'm going to pause the stream, and I'm going to set up for a caffeine fix for the rest of the evening. So, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Good night, everyone.